Hello everybody and welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. So as you can see, we are doing quite well with clearing this forest. There's still quite a few trees left, but it's going well. And as you can see, this is not just a big bonfire which is waiting to be lit. It actually is my trail load of trees. I haven't trimmed off any branches today because they're in winter anyway, so there's not many leaves. So I'm just going to deliver this as it is to the sawmill. I'm sure they'll hate me for it, but we're going to deliver it anyway. Okay, so we've got 13,000 litres still in the sawmill from yesterday, from the previous episode. Let's top it up. I probably should have unstrapped first. Still, I think we're at over 50. I think I did see 52. Yeah, it does. It says 52 there. Can we hit 55? We can. 55, 490 or 489. Very, very good. So once we have rested, we'll have plenty of planks and beams to once again load up and take to the temple, which is what we're going to be doing very soon. But also, January is going to be the month for selling all of the wood chips, and we're going to have a serious amount of wood chip pallets. Yes, it's going to be quite crazy actually. So we'll prepare to load them up. We just need to move all these pallets to the corner. We can bring the tractor and trailer in when we're ready. But my intention is to make the money today from these planks and beams, and we're going to build an olive grove, which I mentioned after we did the grape harvest, and we are hopefully going to get another shed. Now I know we only did get the big shed yesterday, but I think we are going to go for the big shed today, and then we'll never have to worry about sheds ever again. And it's not just for machinery. I can store grain in them, I can store bales in them. It would be really good just to have that double bay big shed. So I suppose there's nothing else that we can really do here until they have processed. This is all looking good still. Cement is underway. That's our trailer for wood chips. Chicken eggs are spawning, that's good. But yeah, unless of course we do need to do another feed mix, which we'll probably do, then I think we are pretty much done. Actually, yeah, what I'll do is I'll do a feed mix. We'll pass some time to allow the bales which are outside to ferment, and then they can go into the shed. We can get them tucked away, put to bed for the winter, you might say. And yeah, also, it would be good to cultivate the two small fields over there, the two small paddy fields. Just so they're done, and we're not frantically saying in April, oh, we've got to get everything done, we've got to get everything drilled, because we probably will get to that point as nothing is drilled. I didn't do any winter drilling. So I would do that. Let's stick the pallet fork back on again. We'll do a mixture first of all, pass some time, and then get the bales put into the shed. Or we could just put the bales in the shed as soon as the mixture is done, because they'll ferment today anyway, and once the mixture is done we won't need to be going into the shed again. It's really just so we don't block the other ones in. If we block them in, then obviously I can't make a mixture, which will be really not good. So, of course, we do still have a few round hay bales, so they can go first. Well, for the first time in forever, this area is actually looking quite neat. I'm very pleased to announce. And that's all really thanks to getting the other shed in the previous episode, but we can make it even neater. I know we're not going to really fill it, the other shed, but it means that we can just keep certain other things in the smaller big shed over there, such as the rice harvesting equipment, that sort of stuff. Anyway, we'll leave that there. That looks so good. It's so nice to know that we do have all of these bales for winter and beyond. Obviously, Straw bales are not looking too neat, but they'll be shredded eventually and used. Many people have suggested selling those and then keeping these, but it's a bigger job than it sounds. Unloading all of those nicely stacked straw bales and then reloading all of the round and moving them out of the way first is going to take a very long time. So I might as well just use them, sell them, and the next time we produce straw bales when the brown bales have gone, we can make a nice neat stack of square bales. Okay, so it looks like I was about right with the feed mixer. With the mixture, I should say. The silage was lacking a little bit, but we do still have a silage bale in here, as you can see. And as we empty it, that will be consumed, so it should actually increase the amount of silage in the mix as we use it. So there we go, they've got their food. I actually installed this brilliant mod the other day, the time-saving stock check. Very handy. We know exactly when the best prices are, where the best prices are, and how much we actually have. We can actually see the value of the commodities that we have. Really handy. So we already know that we've got straw to sell next month. So current value 44,623. Buffalo mozzarella. We only have, I think, 2 pallets. We must only have 2 pallets. And yeah, 39 if we wanted to go for that. Very good indeed. It's also interesting to see that we do have £42,000 worth of hay. That's great. And there is one best price in December, and that is canola oil, but the price is dropping off a bit for that now. Oops. Yeah, we do have canola oil, we do. But not much, only 409 litres, so not a full load. I could just set our production to selling, and it would sell it, but I think, no, I would just wait. We'll just wait until it spawns everything. So that's all good. Right, so before we do anything else, before we move on to July? I wish, that's wishful thinking. Before we move on to January, yeah, that does tend to follow December, we're going to cultivate these rice paddies. We must do the cultivating of the rice paddies, because otherwise I am just going to get overwhelmed by the time spring comes. And it's only a small job anyway, so we can get this done nice and quickly. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm referring to. Instead of having stuff stuffed back here, we could just have them in the other shed. Bit of a tight squeeze. And actually I'm getting a bit tired of seeing all the fields looking like this. That is the problem with not drilling before winter. The fields just look grim during winter. Whereas if we put a crop in, they would be looking nice and green. Looking at these fields, we may need a stone picker. We'll have to see how much money we have left once we have built another shed and done all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's looking like it is due, because if we don't, then it's going to start to wear down machinery. We've got to get the stones out of the fields. Anyway, I think that is going to be good enough. Everything seems to be in order. That can go tomorrow. Well, when I say tomorrow, I mean in a minute, once we've got into January. But yeah, the sawmill is well fed. It's not going to run out overnight. In fact, it's got an entire afternoon to go at as well, but it still shouldn't run out. There should be a really, really good pile by 11:30. Hey, that's a good time. Yep, 11:30 is a good time because it's nice and sunny. We've missed the snow, and it's given the sawmill even more time to produce it's planks and beams, and good grief, look at that. Yeah, so what do we have left in there? We've still got 35,000 litres in the sawmill. It looks like actually there is another pallet of beams and planks to spawn, so we'll get them to spawn first. Don't want to miss out on them. Okay. Exactly midday. I should have just gone to midday. Oh, look at those. Perfectly aligned what they were for perfect stacking. And despite moving all of the wood chip pallets, a load more have appeared. But yeah, we can get them sold today as well. Crikey, January is going to be one big money maker. On the go. Ouch. Oh, for crying out loud. My enthusiasm was just too much for it. Wow, must be the first time ever I've come around here and it hasn't been thick fog. It usually is very foggy. It's a very nice crisp day today. Very clear and crisp. We have a nice good load of planks and beams. It's the beams that it's actually waiting for. It does have enough planks for the current phase, but it will have run out of beams, unfortunately. But as I showed you in the previous episode, progress is being made. Slowly, but surely. It is happening. But it's going to need to have so many deliveries, I can't believe it. Yeah, Giants really wanted us to keep going with this, didn't they? They seriously set the ultimate challenge. But I'm committed now. I'm not going to finish this series until this temple is done. Okay, so that's £102,000. I'm actually going to keep this here, because it will probably be going back to the sawmill at a later date. What we're going to do is we're going to attach the Massey Ferguson to the bale trailer. Let's go and sell those bales, and the best price must be at the animal dealership. I think it always would be with them. So yes, straw. January is the best month, correct? Animal dealer, good. I've tagged the place. Looks like we have £45,165 worth, 311,000 litres, but that will be including most likely what's in the shed. So it likely won't be quite as much as that. But it'll still be good. Yeah, we do have a wooden pallet here as well, but there wasn't really much point in taking just one from here yet. We'll get a good pile first. So, to the dealership. Oh, it is snowy, isn't it? A nice covering. I feel like I've been waiting forever to get rid of these bales. Well, since harvest anyway. So, once again, we'll try and get one lump sum payment, probably 30 something. 31. Very happy with that. Very happy indeed. So, piggies. Hello, piggies. Yeah, so we do have mozzarella as well. I love, actually, I really do love that we can just see what we've actually got. So, let's have a look here. Silage, £76,000 worth. Yeah, so mozzarella at the restaurant, we've got pretty much £68,000 worth. But not all of that can be sold yet, because that's 2 pallets. Well, it's 2.7 pallets. Obviously, we can't sell the 0.7 yet. We'd have to wait for pallet 3. But it might just be worth doing that so that we can build the olive grove today as well as the shed. We're definitely doing the shed. Olive grove will be brilliant. So we'll do the shed, I think. We'll see how much money we've got left over. If my calculations are correct, we'll have 23,000 left over. I'll leave the flatbed here because we can take these IBCs back whenever we are ready to take the trailer back. I'm actually starting to wonder if all the wood chips are going to fit, but it actually doesn't matter because we're going past pretty much the sell point for the wood chips. Just just another nice bit of side income. And look at the stones. Loads more stones to do. Yeah, they'll fit. Come on, Massey, you've got the power. Oh, look at this. Yeah, that's looking good. 1,000 in each. Coming through, make way. How's that for a decent load of wood chips? Must be the fullest load I've ever had of wood chips. So, oh wow, the money is actually going up really quickly. Wow, that is good. That will hopefully fund the shed and an olive grove, but the problem is olive groves I think are worth more than vineyards. Maybe I've got them back to front. Let's just see. So we need to get into, let me have a look here. Which one am I in? It must be this one. Yes. Yes, olive groves are more. They're more expensive than vineyards. It doesn't matter that we're doing both an olive grove and a vineyard, because the harvester which we're going to buy, at the moment we're renting it, is one which can do both. Which I think is amazing. Great invention. Because instead of buying two separate machines like it seems that all the other manufacturers do, it looks like Gregoire does both. Of course we could go for a vineyard expansion, but I'm not very good at using the pruner. That's my honest reason for not wanting it. So the olive grove we don't need to prune. That's why I'm very tempted to go for the olive grove. Anyway, let's go for that double shed first of all. I think it's going to be best up against the cliff face as much as possible. It's not very level though, this. If we were to level the ground, obviously it's going to cut into our spending. Or we could just do it for free, of course. We could just deduct or add the money back in. Yeah, add the money back in. That might be a good idea, but that's also digging quite deep. But I guess at the same time we could just soften it. Yeah, I think we'll probably refund. It's removing the snow too. Yeah, we'll soften it. We don't want to have a great big bank in the field. So that is mostly looking okay. I don't know how it's going to look once we've built the shed. Once again, I'll save, just in case I do need to remove it again. So, into here. Let's get it. I do prefer the sort of green colour over the blue. Might just be me, but yeah. Do like that. Now we can't go right up against here because I can't soften too close. So it would have to be about there. Okay. Yeah, I could have been a bit further back, but what if there's a rock fall? We don't want to have a rock fall demolishing the back of the shed, although it probably would just blast through there anyway. That's good though. I did have it on, it wasn't on free mode, so it was actually leveling the terrain as well. And now what we can do is we can texture. So if we go into, well, it calls it painting. If we go into painting, it would be good to continue with this texture here. Just continue it on. Whoops, that's a bit enthusiastic again. There we go. Yeah, so if we can just continue it through, that would be nice. It's a shame we do have the snow, actually. I don't really want the snow. Usually I do, but today, no. I think we'll probably bring that to there. Have a nice big open yard, because we can build more things in here, obviously. Or maybe I should go even further. Yeah, and actually there was a piece over here that needs to be corrected. This is a different texture though. This must be this plate. There we go, so that fixes that problem. But what do you think? What do you think to our yard expansion? Yeah, we definitely can start building other stuff around it. And it's fairly smooth. It's all blended quite nicely. Make sure nothing's going wrong in here. Not ideal. I think what I'll do is I'll open up the doors so I can see in. It probably won't let me paint inside, but I'll just see. I pressed the wrong thing. It does help if you press the button. I just basically punched the door and expected it to open. Okay, so let's finish this. Although maybe it would be nice to have the asphalt on the inside, but let's just see if it will let me. The biggest problem is it is going to come through, isn't it? So even if I paint it here, it's going to sort of bleed through. It's not the easiest thing to be doing, two different textures. It would have been good just to build the shed second, I guess, in hindsight. I punched the door again, expecting it to open. It's not too bad in here. That's looking good. Just got a line there of these cobbles. Okay, and then a piece in the corner. Outside again. Just do a little bit of touching up. I think there's only so far you can really go. But that is mostly good enough, I would say. So we've now got a second massive shed. Not before time. Now I know we've obviously built that on a field. It doesn't matter. We're going to be buying more land faster and faster now. We've sort of hit that point where we can just afford to do that. So that is it now. We're going to be buying land after the olive grove expansion. So just need to make the money, which won't take too long, from the pallets and all that sort of stuff, mozzarella. But let's get into... No, I'm never going to get used to this, am I? It's been the same for years. But yeah, there we go, cultivation. So I would like to keep the same angle, if I can, as the vineyard. It can't be planted in January, that's annoying. You can pause growth. When can it be planted then? Olives. Oh, very soon. A couple of months' time. So yeah, we'll get the olives put in then. As I said, we could just pause it. I don't think there'd be any harm at all in pausing it, just as long as I remember to unpause it. That's the biggest thing. If I do forget to unpause it, then I don't think anything will grow. Yes, which is always an issue. I keep doing that. Yeah, we'll pause it, because then at least we can do this. I set out to do it, and finishing this episode without doing it would be disappointing. That's too close. Still kicking up a fuss. Looks like we do need to have a fairly decent distance between them. It's £24,000 a row, so we might only get 3 rows today. But because it's the same harvester harvesting, it doesn't matter, although that does matter. Is there a stump? There is a stump. Typical. Okay. There is always something, isn't there? Well, not to worry. Good grief, look at all this. Fair bit of money there. Yes, it doesn't matter because I do actually have a stump grinder. Let's get our skiddy taken up to the top shed, and we'll go and get it attached. It's been my first time using it actually on this machine. I actually can't believe it's taken so long, but we do finally have a big area. I should have just never done the constructible shed. The amount of materials and time that it took was just absurd. So it's nice to have done it, but I'd never do it again. It just took too much. There needs to be an incentive. It needs to be cheaper than just building a shed, just placing a shed. But it isn't. It's actually way more expensive and very time consuming. Look at this munchie. It likes to munch. This is just a practice run. I'll probably be better at it from third person view. Okay, and now for the one which is causing issues. I don't think there's any more, but I wouldn't guarantee that there aren't any more. There we go. Yep, just a little interval act whilst building our olive grove. So yeah, I think we will get 3 rows. I think we will. Now we've set the first one, we can keep the same alignment, which is nice. Good feature. I remember when FS22 first came out, it actually didn't have that feature. They added it about, I don't know, 2 weeks into the release, or maybe a week into the release, and it was a game changer. There we go. We're left with £10,000. We'll just sell some more mozzarella and we'll be able to expand even further. Kind of regret not just doing it all as olive groves now, because I didn't realise I'd be so terrible at using the pruner in FS25. It seems to be way more difficult. There seems to be more of a collision on the posts. I keep getting stuck. Although it might be because I'm using an articulated tractor, articulated steering. So that is... yeah, a possible reason why it is a bit more tricky for me. Anyway, there we go. We've got our shed. So let us finish by putting everything which is just left outside in the shed. Except for the trailer, of course, which is going to be going back down to the debris crusher. Oh, and the other shed over there, the one which we built, is overcrowded. So we can take some stuff out of there and we can put it in the big shed. So here we go. And it would also be good to categorise as well, actually. Drilling stuff together, like cultivations, grass work, all that sort of stuff. And there we go. Yep, this shed is looking a lot emptier. But it needs to be. We can't really put too much stuff in front of other things, and these have all got to be able to get in and out. So, yeah, well, we could get a few more little things in here, but it's not really one which wants to be cram-packed. In fact, yes, the skid steer and its attachments can eventually go into there. But I'll just quickly show you what I've done. I know you've just seen it in a time-lapse, but it's not quite the same. Let's go on foot. Let's have a look at this. There we go. So for all those people who have been moaning that my yard is a mess, what do you think now? Comment down below. Hit like, hit dislike, do whatever you want, I don't know. Subscribe. Thank you for watching, everybody. I do hope you've enjoyed this. I will close the doors and I will see you, hopefully, in the next video. See you again very soon. Bye for now.